Hello everyone, welcome back to the workshop. It's been a couple of weeks since I posted, various reasons, lots of work going on with the day job, not so much in here, but we have had some parts come in, and also we've been struggling to get hold of some other parts, which I'll tell you about in the video. We've had some visitors. My brother Carl was here last weekend with his family, so that was fantastic to see him. It's been a year since I've seen him, so we had a lovely day together. And then later on in the week, Aid from AG Engineering and his wife Val popped in, and we spent the day with them as well. So two fantastic visits. Thank you very much, guys, for coming to see us. In this video, we're going to get on with the D7, the front end rebuild. We're going to have a look at the forks and the front wheel. We've got a tyre and tube, so we're going to get those bits together, hopefully. So yeah, that should be enjoyable. As you can see, I've got my new bins, and I can see what I'm doing now, which makes a change. I've got to that stage of my life where I need different glasses for different jobs, so I guess it just comes to us all. Anyway, let's get on, do some work, and see how far we get. Right, next job. We're going to remove the steering head bearings and give them a good clean, inspect them, and replace as necessary. And we're still working off service sheet 516 that deals with the forks. It also deals with the head bearings, and if you've got the approved data, you might as well use it. You know, the factory knew what they were doing, so that's what we're working to. So the first thing we're going to do is slacken everything off. We'll slacken off the pinch bolt, slacken off the top nut here whilst we've got the handlebars fitted still for leverage. We'll remove the handlebars, and then we'll take these out, remove the top yoke, remove the cup, take the balls out, drop the lower yoke through and remove the balls from that. And anyone that's worked on steering heads with separate balls will know that they are malevolent and they want to go all over the floor and everywhere. And you never find them all until you kneel down on the workshop floor, and then you find that one that you couldn't locate. So there's various means of retrieving them. You can put a bag underneath, you can put a metal tray on the floor so that they all drop in the metal tray and you hear them. I like to use a magnet, stick a magnet like this one. This is a welding magnet on the bottom yoke just before you remove it, and it hopefully magnetizes it, holds all the balls in place, and you don't lose them, is the theory anyway. I've done it before with the magnets, the type of magnet you get in a computer hard drive. They're really powerful. These welding magnets not quite as powerful, so we'll see how we get on. And then with the top yoke, I just use a magnet on a stick, you know, the telescopic magnets, and collect all the balls that way. So anyway, let's get on and do some work. It does feel a little bit notchy actually over this side, so we might have some flat spotted ball bearings. So well worth getting in there, I think, and having a look. Anyway, I'll shut up and we'll get on with it. So just slacken off the pinch bolt. I don't think we'll have to take that all the way out, but we'll slacken it off anyway. Let's do the top nut. Okay, that's nice and slack. Pretty much turn it by hand. We'll take off the handlebars. Oh, have the camera over at the same time. That'd be a good day out, wouldn't it? The threads don't look great on that. That one looks better. That first one did not look good at all. So it may be that we have to clean the thread up in the top yoke, but we'll see. Tell you what, I don't like the way that wire's getting twisted. It's just take the strain, as it were. Okay, I think we've got enough slack to just move the handlebars down here. Perhaps not. Might have to get under there and disconnect the kill switch. Let's just grab a cloth. I'll just put this cloth over the petrol tank. You never know. With a bit of luck and a fair wind, they might stay there. Right. Continue to remove this. That should come off. Yes, it does. Before we take that all the way out, let me just grab the magnet and get ready. Right, I've moved you slightly. The camera was pulsing a bit. I don't think there was enough light where you were, but hopefully you can see good enough from there. I've just put a plastic cable tie, a zip tie, through the steering lock mounts at the bottom, so that the bottom yoke doesn't just drop out. And let's just come away with the nut. So hopefully we should just be able to pull the cup off now and get to those bearings. Okay, so far so good. See if we can get the rest of them. There we go. A few more. They don't look in bad condition, to be fair. And there is some grease in there, so it looks as though someone's been in there reasonably recently. So that's all the upper ones. Let me just grab the lower magnet and we'll do the lower ones. Okay, so we're going to remove the lower yoke and steering stem and hopefully not lose any ball bearings. The magnet that I was going to use, the welding magnet, it just didn't have the minerals for the job, unfortunately. It was only a cheap one. I can't remember where I got it from, but it kept falling off. Not good enough. And I can't find my super powerful hard drive magnets. So this is the magnet off my magnetic camera stand. So we're going to give that a go. It's quite strong, but not really as strong as I would have hoped. So I've got the magnet on the stick, just in case, on hot standby. This could be where my brilliant idea looks ridiculous on camera, but we'll see. It has worked before, but you do need a really strong magnet. Otherwise, you know what's going to happen. Tinkle, tinkle. So I'm standing by with the with the magnet on the stick. Oh dear. So we lost a couple there, didn't we? But you get the idea. Don't do what Dean says. That's the idea. Anyway, moving on. Moving on. I'll put this to one side. I think that magnet was not up to the job. Although, having said that, I know you can't see because I'm behind you. There are a couple of ball bearings that fell out and actually went straight to the magnet. So there you go. Was it an unmitigated disaster? Not quite, but it wasn't far off, was it really? There we go. If we've got 48 ball bearings, when we count them all up, top and bottom, we know we've retrieved them all, because I've just managed to just hove this into view. I've just managed to pick up the escapees as well as a bit of wire brush. Anyway, let's move forward. That was fun. Right, drop them in the magnetic tray. Let me switch you off, move the camera, and we shall move on. Well, not quite the resounding success I'd hoped for, but we've managed to retrieve all of the ball bearings. I think 3 or 4 dropped on the floor. Yeah, definitely need a much stronger magnet for that kind of caper. But anyway, it is what it is. We've got 24 from the upper from earlier. We've got our 24 from the lower, creating a nice constellation or molecular type pattern there in the magnetic tray. So I'm happy. As I say, it didn't quite go to plan, did it? These all need a good wash off and make sure that there's no flat spots or anything like that before they can go back. And then everything else needs a good clean as well. The lower yoke's particularly grubby, although the grease looks quite fresh, so someone's given it a little bit of love at some point. And then the headlamp, nacelle, and the fork shrouds. Again, there's some dirt in there which we'll get out and clean up. There's a couple of dents in it that'll have a bit of a go at bashing out, and I don't know if you can see that. There we go, just coming around there. We have a chunk out of the shroud there. I could make a little patch for it, I suppose. I might have a go, or just dress it up and tidy it up a little bit. We'll see what happens. I think probably the latter, but we'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling and how much time I've got. But there we go. So I'm going to go away and give those a good clean, and then I'll let you see them once they're done. Okay, we're on a handheld adventure, so excuse the wobbly camera work and the out of focus shots. We're having a look at these cups on the steering head, and they look all right. There was quite a lot of grease in there. A lot of it had got down into the frame tube, but I've cleaned all that off now, and I can't see any major pitting or problems really. They look rather good. Let's have a look at the lower one. Probably have an issue with the lighting here, but we'll do our best. Come on camera, you can do it. Oh, there we go. Not a bad view, all things considering. And again, no real issues, no problems. So they can fight another day. Right, we're going to crack on with the wheel, and first things first, we're going to put the bearings in. Got nice new shielded bearings, not the open type that came out. Obviously they tend to let the grease go where it wants, and it tends to end up lubricating the brake shoes. So we're going to put shielded bearings in and eradicate that problem. So the first thing I'm going to do is warm up the hub just to help the bearing to go in. I'm going to do that with a electrically powered heat gun. So I will do that off camera because it's really noisy. So yeah, we'll do that. I'll come back. Okay, it should be warm enough. I'm just going to put a tiny little bit of grease on the outside of the bearing. just a tiny bit. Right. That's pretty much down, I think. Let's just make sure. Yep, that's all the way down. That's the way I like to do it. I don't like hitting them really. So we've got our retaining ring, which is a left-hand thread. We must remember that. That would be embarrassing if we tried to start it the wrong way. There we go. And again, a little bit of grease on the thread, but not much, just to stop it from galling. I'll just fit the peg spanner. Okay. Just nip it up tight. That's it. And get some blocks of wood. Next job is the spindle. So we'll raise this up on blocks of wood, drop the spindle in, and then we can do the bearing on the other side. There we go. There's our spindle, it cleaned up reasonably well. Just put a little bit of grease on the area where the bearing's going to sit. And that goes in there. That's all the way through. And now it's time to fit the other bearing. I'm going to do exactly the same. I'm going to warm up the housing, ready to receive the bearing. Right, I've done exactly the same, a little bit of grease on the bearing, and we're just going to drop that in. A little bit tight. I found that a seal holder is the perfect diameter. If you've got an old one, you could make a tool out of it. If you haven't, and you're really careful, you can use your existing seal holder just to get it started. I don't want to go bananas hitting it, but we'll just gently tap that down. Your seal holder fits inside your hub really nicely, but as I say, you don't. If it's the one you're going to use, you don't want to go bananas with it. I think that's down. Yeah, I think that's down. So now we've got the dust cover to fit, which is this bit. And there was a few dents and sort of marks in it, which I've managed to get out pretty much. A little bit of a mark there, but it won't make any difference. So I'm going to do exactly the same. Smidgen of grease, just to stop it from galling. Just get it started with this socket. It's still quite warm. You'll notice I keep snatching my fingers away. Oh dear. Probably should let it cool down really. I think that's what we'll do. Let it cool down for a minute and then we'll resume. Right, that's better. I've got that all the way down now. So learn the virtue of patience and don't burn your fingers like I did. So circlip time. Get that in. Make sure that it's in properly, which it is. And that's our bearings and our wheel spindle done. So that's that bit done. Right, we'll get the wheel in the vise and we'll start moving on to putting the tyre back on. Right, that's our tyre and tube fitted. I didn't film it because that guy that fits tyres is not pleasant to be around. Although on this occasion it went very smoothly, so he didn't make an appearance. But just in case I didn't film it. So yeah, new tyre, a Kenda to match the rear. I've never used Kendas before, but people say they're all right. So I'm sure that the Bantam will run lovely on them. We've got the balance point in line with the valve, so we shouldn't have any issues with balance. And there we go. What more can I say? Tyre fitted. It would be a good opportunity now to fit the brake shoes and get the back plate fitted, but there's a bit of a drama involving the brake shoes. First of all, I boxed them up to send to Villiers Services for reline and then completely forgot about them, didn't send them. So they were hanging around in here for a while. Eventually did send them, and the parcel company appears to have lost them. So Villiers can't reline what they don't have. So the parcel company are looking for them at the moment. If they don't find them, if they are lost, I'll have to dig out another pair to send to Villiers, and the parcel company will give me the 20 quid insurance or whatever it is that they give you, and you know, they'll be gone. But hopefully they can find them, but we'll see. These things happen, don't they? So we'll dispense with the wheel for now and we'll get on with the forks. Right, let's have a go at putting these forks together. Got the stanchion here in the vise in some soft jaws. So I'm just going to have a go at fitting this split bush. Just guide it on. There we go. And then I think the best way of closing the split will be just to give it a nip in the vise. But we'll see. We'll see if that works. I think it will. Hope it will anyway. Yeah, I think that's gone. There we go. So that's just sprung back into the natural position. That's one done. And we'll just do one fork leg. I'll do the other one off camera. Otherwise you'll get tired of seeing it. I've got the new fork seals. There they are. So I'm just going to fit a fork seal into there's the fork seal holder. Let's give it a little bit of a soak in the oil that we're going to use. And we're going to be using automatic fluid. I've done a bit of research what oil people use, because obviously they didn't use the modern sort of synthetic type fork oils. You want something fairly not too heavy, but you know, it needs to be a fairly substantial oil. A lot of people say that automatic fluid is the stuff, so we're going to give that a go. So let me just grab some of that and we'll put some on the fork seal, get the fork seal installed. There's our seal fitted to the seal holder. I made sure that the lips are facing down correctly. You can see that it's got a bit of oil on it in there. And these are really handy. If you can get hold of some of these, sometimes you see them in the supermarkets in sort of packs of 10 or 20 or whatever. And these are little pie tins, little baking tins. And they're really handy for soaking seals or anything like that, really. The good thing is you can wipe them out and reuse them, so they last quite a long time. So if you see a pack of those, pick them up. Very handy for your workshop. Right, we need to fit the drain plug in the lower leg, and then we can move on. So I got some new drain plugs. You recall that I had sort of bits of threaded rod in there when I took it apart, which they were clearly doing the job, but not the right part. So I ordered some. Here they are. I could have made them, but to be honest with you, for what these cost, I couldn't have bought a piece of 7/16 hex bar and made them. So, although maybe I should have done, because I had to finish them off in the lathe. The threads weren't properly formed all the way. This section here at the bottom, this sort of plain portion, was unfinished. Can't get it to focus. There we go. And they wouldn't screw all the way into the fork legs, so I needed to touch them up anyway. There you go. That's pattern parts, isn't it? Although I didn't get them from my usual supplier, so I don't know whether I just got, you know, slightly iffy ones. Anyway, I'm going to put a copper washer on. I think I've got some fibre washers somewhere, but I don't know where they are, so I'm going to use a copper one. We'll get that screwed into there. Yeah, you kind of, it's a bit hit and miss, isn't it, with pattern parts? They're either really good or they're not. So anyway, we got there in the end. So we'll get this in the vise. That'll do us. And then fit the damper rod and spring. And there's the damper rod. They cleaned it fairly well. And they're quite crude really, these dampers, but when you look at the later bikes, especially the A series bikes, they were kind of the same really, just a tapered rod, and obviously as the stanchion travels down the tapered rod, it closes the gap and squeezes the oil out through the metered orifices. But it does the job. Right, let's get this screwed into the base of the fork leg. There we go, that's going. Just give it a bit of a nip up. Doesn't have to, you don't have to go bananas, because it's going to be locked at the top with a nut, so it's not going to go anywhere. So that's our spring, and I think I'm going to put the oil in now before I fit the stanchion and the seal cover, and then it's done. Will I be able to get it in there? Or should I put the oil in before I put the spring in? Oh, decisions. No, I think I can do it. So BSA specify 1/8 of a pint. You can't see what I'm doing. Let's just move you. There you go. Where was I? Yeah, BSA. 1/8 of a pint, which is about, if you're talking about Old English pints or UK pints, about 72 cc's or something like that, 73 cc's. But I'm going to put 70, just to see what happens. They're probably going to leak, so I'm going to go for 70 cc's of automatic fluid, and we'll go from there. So let's measure that out. Yep, you can see. Pardon me. There we go. Okay, so that's our oil in, and we need our stanchion, our upper bush, and our seal holder. Right, get something to tighten that up with. 1 second. Now if you watched the last video, you'll remember I said that I was going to make a tool for tightening up the seal holders. Yeah, I didn't get around to it, so we're going to use the strap wrench. But eventually, if the strap wrench will do it, eventually I'm going to make a tool. There we go. Well, last final nip. Just want a little bit more. That should do it. Okay, so you need to be careful now not to light it down because obviously all the oil will come out of it. Well, that's one done. Pretty simple job. So I'll get on and do the other one. Right, back over at the bike, I'm starting to get the steering stem assembled, and as you can see, I've got the lower yoke fitted. The 24 ball bearings are fitted at the lower end, re-greased, and you can see this clamp here on the steering lock holding everything together. That's quite a useful thing to have because you can go hands off. You know what it's like when you're putting these things in and the ball bearings want to escape even though they're in the grease, and you're kind of, you know, you've got to keep a hold of everything. If you've got a clamp or some means of holding it together, you can go hands off because 10 to 1 you've forgotten something or left it on the bench, and then unless you're Mr. Tickle, you've got to take everything out again to go over to the bench and get what you forgot. So yeah, a clamp is a really good idea. I know that Bones over at Oz Bantams, when he does these, often he's got the bike upside down because he's rebuilding the whole bike. So he has the frame upside down, he assembles the forks and the yokes, and he drops everything in, and then, you know, gravity's on his side, and he then cable ties it together and then turns it the right way up, and that's another really good way of doing it. But at least I think the bike's upside down. He's in Australia, so I mean, I'm no expert in these matters. Anyway, I'm not a geographer. So yeah, it's a good idea to have a means of retaining this so that it doesn't all go all over the floor. I think, looking at the sort of timing on this video, we're going to leave it there, and I'll make another short video of just getting the top yoke on and getting the forks back in. We're going to have to wait for the brake shoes to come before we can do the front wheel. So let's go over to the bench and just finish off over there. Right, back over at the bench, and you can see we've got a few bits and pieces left to go on, and we'll get that done in the next video. Obviously, the parcel company are now messing me around. We're not really communicating very well. We don't know where my brake shoes are. I guess I'm just going to have to write them off, and I don't think I'll ever see them again. So I've dug out another pair that we can send to Villiers to get done. They've been previously relined. They are genuine BSA shoes. You can see they've got the rivet holes in. So we'll send these away. They could strip these linings off and put some nice new ones on for us. Yeah, it's a bit of a pain, but these things happen, don't they? And they seem to happen to quite a few of us quite regularly. So yeah, parcel companies, what can I say? So that's it then, I think, for this video. Thanks very much indeed for watching. Thanks to all my subscribers, guys that have been with me for quite some time, those of you that have come along recently, thank you very much indeed. It is hugely appreciated. We clicked over 630 during this video, so that is phenomenal. Keep them coming. If you're not subscribed, please consider hitting the button. We won't cost you a shilling, and we will be making more videos, doing some more interesting stuff here in the workshop. So I'll see you on the next one. Mind how you go. Bye for now.